Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Podcast Juice. My name is Michael Dean, and this is the podcast on Prince. We are back once again. Feels good. But anyway, listen, we are joined today. Everyone's excited. We are joined today by some special guests and regular people. So let's just get things started. First, we want to welcome a special guest to the show. It was first time on the Prince podcast. I'm going to call it the Prince podcast. But it's been a long time coming. Salute to this brother, Mr. Ricky Wyatt. Sir, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm living the dream. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good. Doing good.
Okay,
and
that's what's up.
People know a little bit about yourself because you've been out here doing your thing. We shared the mic on a few things before, but...
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I'm just a regular brother. You know, say musician, Prince fan. You know, I've been a fan of you guys, man. You know, like I know your platforms and what y'all do. You know, so you know, I've done a few things on grown folks music and with DJ Polish Solid, also known as the D'Angelo Duff.
Yeah,
you know who has been keeping the Prince legacy celebrated, you know, with symposiums and things of that nature. So shout out to her and everyone involved in that. So that's pretty much it, man. You know, I'm just, you know, just a bass playing brother that, you know, enjoys good music.
All right. Well, we love it, man. Well, thank you for jumping on here today. We, you know, again, I always say we like to be like the Avengers out here. We just keep expanding. And people jumping in, you know.
Okay. Hey, man, look, I've been you know, like we have talked about doing something for a while. So look, you know, man, I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you're here. All right. Also, we have my brother, Big Sexy and Sack in the building. Sir, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing well. I want to give a special shout out in honor of our guest to Miss D'Angelo Duff because she turned me on to Joni Mitchell. You know, I had heard about Joni for years, and I sent her a message. She's all, Mark, you got to try these 3 albums and go from there. I did. I get it now. And again, she's part of why I have expanded my musical horizon. So definitely shout out to her.
All right.
Kudos.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Amp Pooh. So how are you?
I'm doing good. As I've been taking the podcast juice mantra, I've been working it like a job and seeing the fruits of that labor pay off.
All right. Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So today's topic, we've been doing these sort of what if type scenario type shows, which I just think are fun to me. It just gives us an opportunity to just geek out on Prince. And so today what we're going to do is, you know, we're going to A&R Prince. And here's a scenario. So we are going to pick up after the Purple Rain tour. So instead of Prince doing around the world in a day and maybe even kind of cutting the tour a little short, let's just say he went and did the tour for another 6 months or so and really got, you know, as much out of that as he could and really just started to dominate the landscape. And my idea is to come up with an album that may, and I love Around the World in a Day, to be clear, but maybe something that people would have just been like, yo, this is the next level from Purple Rain, from 1999, all of that. And something I think that may have, in my opinion, I would say this album for me is going to be something I think would have just hit across the board and really solidified. Looking at what I came up with just for myself, I think I almost try to do a Sign of the Times early type of vibe as we'll get into. But I'll clear. I really want to hear what these brothers came up with. So that's the idea. We're gonna each give our version of what the next album after Purple Rain would have been like, in whatever directions people wanted to go. So with that, does anyone want to go first? Or do you want me to go first to set the field? I'll leave that up to you guys. What do you want to? Anybody want to be first?
I can go first. You know
okay.
me. Mr. Controversy. I'll go ahead. Shout out to Rodney Fitzgerald and Violet Brown. I know y'all listening and giving y'all side eyes before I get started. So the parameters was the end of 1985. No songs after that point, correct? Just so the fan base is aware.
I guess you could kind of say that. Yeah.
So for me, these are the songs that I came up with. I even got some B-sides. I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a tangent because I'm taking some songs. So I'm going to give y'all some B-sides for some previously released songs, but that's okay. So for me, I'm starting the album. I'm going to give you the title of the album afterwards, although I might give it away with some of the tracks. But the first track is going to set the tone that this is a different kind of Prince thing, but you're going to get some of that, all of those different types of elements that make up the Prince and the Revolution, the Prince sound, the MPLS sound. But it's going to be a weird song, but follow me. Just follow me. The first track is going to be Paisley Park.
Okay.
Because it's out there, it's psychedelic, it's inviting, and it's an alternative to what you heard from Purple Rain and even 1999. But at the same token, it's making the listeners think, hey, here's a new sound. So Paisley Park goes first. No video, nothing, or at least the Princeless video. That's not going to happen. But Paisley Park is going to open up the song because it's going to set the tone of, hey, we're going to go run the gamut of different types of music. Song number 2, which will also be the first lead single that he puts out. I'm pulling this song from the B-side of Let's Go Crazy, because this song deserved to be its own single. I'm talking about Erotic City. We're going to still keep the Sheila E. on there, but Erotic City is going to be that lead single. It's going to be a bang.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sir.
This is cool. Are you saying that the Let's Go Crazy single didn't come out, or are you just saying...
No, it came out, but the Erotic City isn't the B-side. The B-side for Let's Go Crazy in my quantum realm is Raspberry Beret.
Yes, I thought that interesting.
Wow. Oh yeah. That's that's different.
So you come with that psychedelic Paisley Park, and then you follow it up with that funk Erotic City with the taboo words, Sheila E. on there, and the black stations were already banging this. This is guaranteed to go number 1. Now, here's where Anthony goes a little left. The B-side for Erotic City, The Ladder.
Okay.
Yes. He gonna make you sweat, and then he gonna preach to you. That's right. That's how we do it. Now, song number 3, one of my personal favorites. It was recorded around this time. We don't have the cuss word on it, but it's definitely funky. It's ill. It should have been released as a single, and it's a banger, and it's going to get its proper just due. Weekend Funk Graffiti Bridge version. Wow.
I knew he was going to say that.
Okay.
So now we got intro, we got heat, we got banger. Moving on. I pulled this one from the B-side because it deserved its own release. It deserved it, to be a single, to have a video, to be played in a concert for the mainstream to enjoy this. And I'm talking about She's Always in My Hair. That's the second single. The B-side, I know people are going to lose their mind, but yes, the B-side to that, Pop Life. Yes. Number 5, a song that I just discovered, I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before, I'm not sure, but I just discovered with Prince's vocals from the album The Originals, which I think his version of this song, with its sparseness, with just that piano and that little drumming effect, I'm not sure what you would call it. I'm sorry, Sheila, but he's taking that from you. It won't be the first time he's doing it. Noon Rendezvous. It's just a whole different vibe going there to show you that, yo, I can experiment and listen to this song. Number 6, pulling another B-side, 17 Days. That's going to be on this album. Yes. Number 7, the third single to be released from this album. Now, we got to remember with Purple Rain, he released 6 singles, and technically it was 7 because Erotic City got that play. But, hey, I'm just letting you know, we getting some singles off of this album. Number 7, the single, Sorry, Sheila. I mean, it was a hot song for you. It's going to be a number 1 song for Prince. I'm talking about the duet now, Love Bazaar. That's a Prince and a Revolution song. And in another wild pairing as a B-side, but he did this He has some wild parents. The B-side for this is going to be America. So there's your rock, because I know, as I go through my playlist, it's kind of weak on the rock side, but there it is. Number 8. A song that I discovered in 1999 that I think is a nice little rockabilly pop, sugary sweet pop song. Money Don't Grow on Trees. Absolutely love that song. And I think here is another, it shows the diversity of Prince and the music he puts out. Number 9, I think, is a great song that feels right at home on Purple Rain, and it make people feel like he made that transition from Purple Rain to this song, because it has a nice little flavor to it. Love and Sex from the Purple Rain Deluxe. Absolutely love that song. Number 10, another from the vault. It's a damn shame he had all these songs in the vault that should have been bangers on other albums, but I'm giving it to it here. If It'll Make You Happy. I think that's another ballad that'll bring the women in. It's a palate cleanser, so to speak, and it's a really great song in its own right. Follow that up. Jill Jones. Jill Jones, I got nothing but love for you. I've been on the show with you, but I heard this song on the originals, and he did an amazing rendition of it. I loved how the I guess what do you call it, not the acoustics, the instrumental was worked on it. Baby Your Trip, that's going to be on there. There's your day dropping song, so to speak. And number 12, the final single that's going to be released, and it's absolutely going to go number 1 because it did go number 1. The 1984 Purple Rain Deluxe, no, it wasn't Purple Rain Deluxe, but I'm sorry, the originals version, Nothing Compares to You. There's your ballad. There's your number 1 song right there that's going to close out the album. That's going to be a big hit. That's probably going to be on the charts for about 10 weeks. People are going to be like, God damn, how did we not know Prince could do this? The B-side, and I know this is gonna catch heat from Michael Dean, but damn it, this is my Quantum Well. The B-side to Nothing Compares to You, Screams of Passion.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And since I did rip 17 days, I forgot. I'm sorry, I messed up. Since I ripped 17 days from When Doves Cry, the replacement for that is Temptation.
Oh.
Yeah. Some songs that I was considering that I decided to leave off because it might be just too much, and then it didn't meet the timeline that I wanted to consider was Fill You Up, Electric Intercourse, Rebirth of the Flesh, Joy and Repetition, and Love or Money. But unfortunately, they didn't get the time period.
Question for you. What's the name of the album?
Yeah. Name of the album, Prince and the Revolution presents Welcome to Paisley Park.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Give us the rundown just of the songs real quick. Just
yes.
do all the songs.
So the intro is Paisley Park, Erotic City, Week in Funk, She's Always in My Hair, Noon Rendezvous, 17 Days, Love Bazaar, Money Don't Grow on Trees, Love and Sex, If It'll Make You Happy, Baby You're a Trip, and closing out the album, as he likes to do, the banger ballad, Nothing Compares to You. With the B-sides being The Ladder, Pop Life, America, and Screams of Passion.
Okay. Any thoughts on this album, fellas? Nope. All right.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, nice list. Like interesting list.
Anthony he stayed within the parameters as provided. I think he went a little long because, and this is just, I'm trying to make sure I stuck by the rules. In 1985, CDs really weren't, penetrated like that yet.
Right.
So the main thing was about having the LP link. So if anything, Anthony went a little long on his, unless he's doing a double album set. Then if he was planning that, hey man, handle your business.
Yeah, that's something I thought about when I did mine here, and I'm gonna go ahead, Rick, if you had anything else to say on this one.
No. Hey, look, I thought it was a nice list. I mean, very interesting. I like how you kept prefacing. I know it's gonna make some people mad, but I thought it was cool. Good job. I like that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just run through mine real quick here, and I will tell you the title. So the title of this album is a double album. My thought was, Purple Rain, out of the park, great pop record, classic. And I was thinking, going back to sort of the aesthetic of a 1999, now that he's at the top of the world, he could do whatever he wanted to. And if he just went to Warner Brothers and said, I want to do a triple album, they probably would say, of course. So this is the double album. The title of this album is, I actually went back to Prince.
Oh, okay.
So coming off of Prince and the Revolution, it was so big. I felt like Prince was like, you know what? And a little bit of the petty Prince, competitive Prince. I'm the star. Like, I don't need these guys like that. They're on here, but this is my thing. And I'm working with other people too. So it's just going to be called Prince, and it's called Prince Bold Generation. So that'll tell you already where that's going. So here's the double album. So here's vinyl 1, side A. First track, Bold Generation. And my thought is, he must have always liked this song because we hear it years later as New Power Generation. But I'm like, the version that I heard on the 1999 special edition, you could argue maybe that was a time thing or something, but whatever it is, that's a jam. And I felt like, you know what? He's just coming back to just shut it down to, like, he's not leaving the Minneapolis sound behind, but he hears all of the competitors, Jesse's coming out, Ready for the World. All these people are doing his sound, but he's like, let me show y'all how it really gets down. I'm not going to let y'all, I'm going to just double down. So Bold Generation is the first single, actually. Okay. And it just, like, immediate hit. Like, it blows up black radio, pop, they're going to jump on it anyway. But just really, he set the tone like, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and steal Morris's little thing because, I can't let him get away with this. So he drops that. Second song on here, Screams of Passion. I had toyed with that being the actual album title at first, but no, Screams of Passion, the second song, side A. The third song, Old Friends for Sale. And this is where, he's sort of like going, talking about the revolution, talking about Morris and just, everything, Big Chick and more personal thing. It's a different style, kind of what you used to hearing from him, but it's one of the realest records. And you drop that on. So, okay, wow. And then the last song on side A would be Pop Life. So there you go. Okay. So side B, flip that bitch over. And it's Love Bazaar starts it off. And it's the full version, it's billed as Prince, but obviously Sheila's singing on it as well. But that would be just another banger. Okay. The second song, She's Always in My Hair. The third and last track on this side is Raspberry Beret. So kind of hitting you with, I still got that pop joint, I can still, give you that, boom. And that could still be a big hit or whatever. All right, vinyl 2, side A. I'm going to say the first 2 tracks. So it starts off with Our Destiny, Roadhouse Garden. Okay. So given that, revolution, that Wendy and Lisa kind of thematic feel, maybe they had toyed with doing the Roadhouse Garden, but it ended up falling into this. So they put that there, boom. The third track is Extra Lovable. And he pulled from his 1999 bag and was like, man, this is hot. I still got to be able to drop this on them. Boom. I just think that would be like, people be like, oh shit, he still got that. You know what I mean? Like, it just would be like, oh, okay. So he drops that on you. The last track on side A, Alexa DeParis. And that's like dropping that. Like, you ain't never heard him do no shit like that before. It's instrumental. It's crazy guitar solo, guitar playing. it's a whole different level, and just like, whoa, it's like, okay, this dude, he's been giving us these just straight jams, but man, he's coming with this, like, okay. So now you flip the album, flip side, vinyl 2 over. So the last side starts off "We Can Fuck," and play that goes. The second song is kind of more of the ballady type of song, but this would be "Desire," the song from the Family album. But this is the version with the drums. If you've heard that, well, actually, the version Prince sings. I just think that song is dope. So that's almost like a door for this project. So you put "Desire" there, and then the last song to finish the whole thing out would be "All My Dreams," and that'd be how you finish the album. So that's Prince Bold Generation double album. Looking at it for me now, I can say this is kind of like it's almost like Sign of the Times, but it's a different version of that. And I just think if you'd have dropped them types of songs and actually went on tour behind that, it would have been bananas, because there's a lot of great songs in there. Songs I think would have been big if they would have gotten released. And I think just the thematicness of the songs and the style of the music, nobody would have not been bumping this. There would have been something on here. Everyone still would have been bumping some Prince. Like, God, he came with the funk, or he got the little R&B joint, or he got the pop joint. He got some guitar shit. So that's my pick. Any thoughts on Bold Generation album?
Hey man, look, that would have took my money too. Just like Aunt Pooh's would have took my money. So,
for sure.
Yeah, I was about to ding you. I'm like, Alexa to Paris, what ain't that? And then I did my Googles and I was like, oh, well, let me shut up.
Let me shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, every song I checked to make sure, I was like, this is all in the same period.
Yeah. That's bold as hell to put that one on the album proper. So respect to that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that song is ill. I feel like he should have had that on Parade at least, like, because
that song is
yeah. In
that
my
song
opinion, they should have removed "Do You Lie" for it, but that's a whole nother argument.
No. Man, yeah. I mean, you know what? In a post CD era, it probably would have been included, but because it was still in the album era, it got relying to B-side status. So
I think but the Parade album is not that long though. Like,
no, it's not. But
easily put something on something, but for whatever reasons,
he could have easily.
I had a question. What were your singles?
Say it again.
What were your singles? What would be your singles?
Screams of Passion. It would if I would have done singles, it could have been Bold Generation would have started it off, just because I knew that would have. If he did Bold Generation with a video, man, please, Daddy ate that up. He ain't had no choice but to bump that, and then anything else at that point would have hit regardless. I think I probably would have not released the singles so I would have probably had Bold Generation, Pop Life. I probably wouldn't have picked Raspberry Beret, but obviously it works. But yeah, I would have. To me, it would have been Bold Generation, Pop Life. Maybe She's Always in My Hair, or Love Bazaar. I think Love Bazaar would be an easy banger.
Yeah,
but a lot of these would be album jams. A lot of these would be album jams that people, We Can Funk would probably be the erotic city of this era. It would have been like everyone would have been bumping that, but they would have never been able to play it on the radio. But I could already see people would have been, oh, this nigga tripping. I can hear the cars bumping.
Yep.
And I could see him. It would have been. I could see his vibe. He would have, if he would have kind of kept a little bit of the Purple Rainish vibe and was transitioning. I could easily see him performing these songs, and it's still, you know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, He would have been on some shit, and he would have still
Okay.
he would have had his eye on Jesse and Morris, anticipating what he thought they was gonna do. Oh, they gonna take the sound. I can't let them have the sound. I'm gonna stop that
Jesse
right
was
now.
killing it in '85.
Yeah, Jesse was on his bumper.
He was killing it in '85. There's no doubt about that.
But anyway, that's my list. Ricky, let's go with you.
Okay, well, you said if we were an executive, so I'm gonna take the executive approach.
All right.
Given the fact that at this time P shared the same management as Earth, Wind, and Fire, and unbeknownst to a lot of people, he actually looked up to like Maurice White and all that type of stuff, and so he kind of took cues from some things that they did. I would say Cavallo, Ruffalo, and Fargnoli may have talked him into doing, since this is the Purple Rain tour we're talking about, it got extended. One of my favorite, one of the best live albums is the Earth, Wind, and Fire Gratitude album. So I would imagine that they probably would have tried to package a way to get Purple Rain live.
Interesting.
To the masses who like could not afford a ticket at that time, or who did not have a VCR for the Purple Rain live VHS tape, which was about $50 back then. So in addition to packaging a live album, they would have had a bonus album, so maybe a double, maybe a triple of some things that had not come out, kind of keeping with the Purple Rain vibe.
Okay.
You know, like Electric Intercourse.
I like
maybe like an extended, you know, like the full version of like Computer Blue. You know, like Wonderful Ass Father Song. In addition to, I'm gonna take into account and say that The Family still came out. So I would say that some things that didn't make their album may have been put here, like Misunderstood. I forget the other one. They had another instrumental, I think. You know, maybe he would have kept Dance Electric.
I had that on my list for a minute.
You know, maybe he would have kept Dance Electric. I'm gonna say that he probably saw. Let's say he saw what Jesse and Jam and Lewis were doing, and so he was like, "All right, I gotta have some bangers too." So he probably would have kept like Dance Electric. Probably would have kept Love Bizarre. You know, I'm trying to think like Purple Rain vibage. Maybe the Roadhouse Garden, like I know Possessed, all those things would have been on there, kind of riding that tail. What would have been a lead-off single for that? I probably would go with maybe Dance Electric, probably either that or like Love Bizarre. Maybe he would have kept Mutiny from The Family, given that, you know, Morris had kind of come out with his thing right around that time. I think that would have been kind of cool. I think he would have probably would have kept, you know, like Manic Monday would probably be on here.
Okay.
Just to have something that's kind of popish, saying whatnot. You know, and I would imagine like that would probably be the album I know for me. I would probably title it because he was big on that "May You Live to See the Dawn" phrase back then. So I would probably title it "The Dawn."
Okay.
And it would be like, you know, like I said, maybe like a double album, triple album, you know, something like that. You know, where you got one album, it's just a live show, and then the other album, you know, you got these new tunes, you know, that kind of would have been released. You know, kind of like I think in Songs in the Key of Life, vinyl like that, it's like 3 albums and then it's a 45 or something like that. if I remember correctly, I think that was kind of like that. So I think like that's you know, I think one of the executives might have tried to kind of, you know, push that out for the people, like something live, you know, right around Christmas time. So that's my album, man.
Okay, what's the name? So this was the Purple Rain live album, and then there was a separate disc of like newer songs that came with it.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
I can actually see that. I could have saw that. I could see that.
Yeah, but it, you know, I mean, kind of like the Earth, Wind and Fire Gratitude. It's not titled like Earth, Wind and Fire Live. It's just a totally different album title where you think it's something just totally different. So it would be titled like The Dawn.
The Dawn. Okay. I see that.
Or something like that. So yeah,
that would have been a cool. I could have seen the milk in that. Like, we got to put a live version of the album out. Then he's got all these other songs he didn't put out. He can put a third disc. Oh, I would have scooped that up.
Yeah, that's a brilliant business move, because then at the same time, at least for the label, they're like, hey, that's not actually much more money to put into it because the stuff is already there and they can just pull from some of the live shows he's done.
Yeah. Yep.
Now that I'm thinking about your list and what you said, the one thing that's missing from mine that I know now is he would have had some sort of live track on there. You know, a song pulled from a performance.
Oh, okay.
That would have been something I didn't think about that. That would have been.
Man, so, you know, I think that's the one thing I know, like all of us as Prince fans, we you know, kind of get frustrated over is that like we were looking for a live album for like so many years, and then when he did one, it was like, okay, it's dope, but you know what I'm saying? It was like other stuff that could have been, you know, done where it's like, oh, you know, hey, look, I ain't tripping on the One Night Alone stuff, but you know, it's kind of like telling somebody like, yeah, well, like you should have heard him back in this period or this or that. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just, it's like it's a food analogy. It's like, man, oh, I remember he used to make the fried catfish, man. I went to this picnic. That was bomb. And then you go over and like 10 years later, I'm finally putting out that fried catfish. Y'all want to come over and eat? And you're like, man, this is cool. It's not the same when you did it outside. And you know what I'm saying? Man, where's that? Where your mama seasoning that? Who put this? Oh, it's a little different. We a little more healthy now. We don't put all that fat back. We don't put the fat back grease in our food no more.
You know? Yeah, right. Yeah, like
we got some Mrs. Dash, not those.
This is all natural, organic, unprocessed. Okay, I dig it.
Pretty much, yeah. And you know what? That is the best analogy. You're absolutely right. That's kind of how it was. Hey, where's the grease? Yeah,
exactly. We don't do that no more. It's not the greasy burger no more. It's like, yeah, we're a little more healthier here. Real quick, as you were saying, I'm going to go to Big Sexy. You got me thinking, like, what if he did everything you said, but, you know, not having the time, but instead of him doing the family, he was like, buck that. Jamie Starr is going to come out. And he just did the whole thing as Jamie Starr.
You mean like a Jamie Starr album?
Yeah, it was just called Jamie Starr Time's Up. And the first song is Mutiny. Like, and it's like, I was the producer. Now I'm gonna take Mutiny. Yeah. So here, real quick, I just did this as you're talking. It would be Mutiny, High Fashion. I'm actually missing a song. There's got to be 6, but Mutiny, High Fashion, My Summertime Thing, Susanna's Pajamas, and Jerk Out.
And add chlorine bacon skin.
Okay, you can throw it. Yeah. But yeah, I could see it.
I actually prefer Tricky.
Okay.
Tricky. Okay. You know what? Tricky would be the last track on side 1. So it'd be Mutiny, High Fashion, Tricky. Flip it over. Yeah. My Summertime Thing, Susanna Pajamas, Jerk Out.
Hey, man, you know, when you initially, I know, asked me about this, I initially was like, okay, well, if this was the case, he probably would have kept some of the family stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, you got, I mean, just the first 3 songs on side A alone, like High Fashion, Mutiny, and Screams of Passion. Well, really the whole first side, because he probably would have kept Yes, too.
Yeah, possibly. I was thinking if he was just like, I'm gonna do. It's basically a Time album, but I'm gonna sing it as Jamie Starr. I'm gonna just do. That'd be his first time coming out as a different person instead of Camille. He's like, I'm gonna just do Jamie Starr. Y'all done heard about him. So now, and it would be a diss album because he really would be going in on Morris. Like, this my sound. He talking like I talk. But I could, in a pettier world, in a petty timeline.
In a pettier
timeline, Prince would have came out with the Jamie Starr Time's Up album, in subtitles, something for their
Time's Up,
nigga.
Time's Up.
He would have Morris's that one jacket Morris wears, the yellow with the black.
Yeah,
he had that on the cover in flames and shit. Talking about
hey man, so what's funny though? Like when you think about it, he was Jai Petty then because he threw Jesse's name in like Raspberry Beret and
Mutiny.
He did all of them. Yeah, he said down by Old Man Johnson's
farm.
So he has some like he needed therapy.
So this would have been the first diss album, is what you're telling me?
Well, probably.
Yeah, just hit a one in. But anyway, Big Sexy.
No, the other thing, I'm just thinking, can you imagine Prince starting the album with "That's Why I Fucked Your Bitch"?
Whoa! What are you talking about?
Whoa! I'm saying, the Tupac, how he started Hit 'Em Up. I can see him doing something like that.
Wow, okay. That's Ampu, ladies and gentlemen.
Had to make it weird.
Oh, man.
Well, Big Sexy, we would love to hear what you got.
All right, first things first. I don't know how our guest did it, but clearly he has hacked my machine. But that's all right. That's all right. A lot of things that were just said are a lot of things that are going to be in my album, Prince and the Revolution, Mutiny. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Side 1. And my man, Andre Simone, sorry, but we're taking it back. Dance Electric. That's where we start.
Awesome.
Number 2, Susanna, sorry, you and the ladies got to figure something else out. We're taking back Manic Monday. That's our first single. Something safe to draw the people in, but y'all don't know what's coming. You know what's coming. After that, we go Raspberry Beret again. Oh, nice little poppy thing. Yeah, he's going a new direction. You keep thinking that. Now I need my slow jam. I need to get the draws. Nothing compares to you. Bam.
Yeah, there was same page. Mm-hmm.
Now, come up to wrap up side A. We need to get a little up tempo now. Sheila, get a job. We're taking back Love Bizarre. There it is.
He called better than taking to get a job.
We're going to flip it over. And again, I kept it into the limitations of 1985, assuming it was going to be on vinyl. I didn't think Warner's would give him a double album so soon after 1999, so I kept it to 1. And I also, incorporated the idea of gratitude myself. I got some live cuts on here now.
Okay.
So we did a little thing at First Avenue, invitation only, packed house of the hardcores.
Here you go.
Side B, song 1. Wave your hands up. Boom. And the bomb goes. Yes, America. The live version, which is burning. Next, Extra Lovable. The live version. And I immediately think about seeing it at Chicago Winery? Yes. That's the one. Again, straight fire, and it leads us, and it segues right into Mutiny. Boom! There it is. We're taking over. That's right. Gotta give up this ship. Should have been
you got
a
a
little
receipt
more.
coming, letting you know that.
All right. And those 3 songs are going to be like 6-7 minutes a pop. America's 9 minutes. So the last song, She's Always in My Hair. Studio version. Now, on my singles and B-sides, my first B-side, A Million Miles. Sorry, Apollonia, we're taking that back too.
Yeah.
But we got Lisa and Wendy singing it. Yes. Also, B-sides, we have the studio versions of America, Extra Lovable, and Mutiny. We make bank this year. Because the key with this one is the strength of the tour. The nation sees, okay, this guy is a band leader. What's up? So you put that fire on this album, and you kick up the intensity with the America live version. We're going back on tour. Eric Leeds, Atlanta Bliss, get ready. It's time to go to work. Oh, yes. This album will be a platinum smash.
All right. This is Prince and the Revolution, Mutiny?
Mutiny.
I can see that.
We're taking over.
I can see that. I think I know what Ant was going to ask you about. Ant, you said there's something, a receipt you wanted to pull?
I'm going to take a shot at it for you.
That's a wrestling term, receipt.
Should have been a little
Ampu? No?
No. That's a wrestling term. Receipt means I owe him one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got one coming, man.
Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah, man, these are some strong and very interesting choices.
Because Mutiny's a jam live.
We should, if listeners, I would implore you to listen, put these playlists together in these manners that we've done them and listen to them. I think they'd be an interesting run through. So
I'm going to bump this. I'm going to make this today, actually, on my little list.
Ampu, tell us the name of your album again.
Oh, shit. Welcome to Paisley Park.
Welcome to Paisley Park. So we got Welcome to Paisley Park. We got Bold Generation. Rick, what was yours called?
Welcome to the Dawn.
Welcome to the Dawn. And then Big Sexy, you had Mutiny.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so those are our choices if we were to, I guess, A&R Prince a little bit.
Y'all made some nice choices there, fellas. I'm gonna have to go back to the catalog and okay.
Rearrange.
Yeah.
See, I thought I had the exclusive, trying to combine the whole gratitude thing with a couple of live cuts. I'm like, no one's gonna see that coming.
Hey man, look, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike.
There it is.
Well, all right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We would love to hear your choices or read them. So in the comments, come up with the Prince title and give us your track listing of that fictional Prince album After Purple Rain. Love to see it.
I'm sorry, fictional.
Hey, I make up the words. I make the rules, baby.
All right.
Yeah, they roll with me. Roll,
exactly. But with that said, we're going to shift gears a little bit. A couple of things we can talk about. So one, there's a new series of clips from, I assume, a longer interview. This is Apollonia on the Sunset Sound YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And they released some clips from the interview that they've done. And one of the clips, I'm going to try and put it in front of me, is very, very clickbaity, provocative title. I'm going to give them a salute for that because definitely is going to grab your attention when you see it. But the title is Prince and I Co-Wrote Manic Monday and the Glamorous Life. And I saw that title. I was like, whoa, I ain't never heard. Okay, whoa, what? So have we all listened to this video? Have you a chance to listen?
I listened to it last night. I saw the whole thing, yes.
Okay.
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't, but you can go ahead.
Well, I guess, she kind of was, and I'm paraphrasing here a lot, but I think she was saying that she was around Prince in the studio at Sunset Sound, I guess, and she was writing haikus in some kind of book or something. She said she was kind of known for doing this, and apparently some of the phrases or things from those went on to inspire Manic Monday, Glamorous Life. I think even Apollonia says that she suggested Prince give the song to the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken. That's just I'm just paraphrasing what I remember. So she was kind of saying that. And then she started talking about, if I'm not mistaken, where later on in life and toward the end with Prince, she had reconnected with him, and she was saying like he was trying to right the wrongs. And I don't know if she was implying that, like, you know, she wasn't obviously getting publishing or anything, but maybe he was going to take care of that situation in some capacity. I don't know if she meant by getting paid for some of this stuff or what, but I found all that sort of interesting. It's definitely a deeper conversation about that. And it has sparked a lot of conversation online. You know, I'll try to watch what I say. I'll be very respectful. All I can say is I never heard this before, but again, I'm an outsider, so why would I have heard any of this before?
Right.
I don't know if it's true or not. She's just giving her truth. I give it that much. But it's I find it interesting that she is saying these things now. Maybe she feels like she wants to get this information out. I don't know if it's part of a plan to like start the conversation of, you know, should she get compensated for? Again, it's a very interesting sort of thing. I don't know enough to have a lot of thoughts on it, but it is I guess you could say it is a mini bombshell thing to put out there at this time. But with that said, Big Sexy, you listened to this whole thing. What are some of your thoughts?
You know, I'm going to try to be respectful as well. One thing Mike said was, you know, she said that she inspired. Inspiring is not writing. You know, and I'm not trying to be a weenie here, and that's just how it is, you know, because there was a lawsuit from the lead singer of the Beach Boys where Mike Love actually sued Brian Wilson, who wrote all of their, you know, classic stuff. Yeah. And he sued, I want a publishing, you know, credit. And his actual contribution was something along the lines on the fade out of I can't think of the song. I think it's Wouldn't It Be Nice? But his actual contribution was, yeah, baby. Ooh, yeah, baby. Really? Fuck out of here. You know, and going back to Glamorous Life and Manic Monday, I went ahead and pulled out the publishing to make certain I wasn't talking out of my hat. Prince wrote that. Now, when you write a song, songs are composed of two main components, your melody and your lyrics. She didn't, you know, contribute either one as far as I know. Now, again, I'm not saying she didn't say something in a haiku that sparked him to take it and run with it. That's fine. But as far as expecting a writing credit behind that, bruh, no, doesn't work that way. Now, I'm not saying she couldn't write. I'm not saying she, you know, was incapable of doing something like that. But again, if she thinks that she is actually due credit as a, quote, co-writer, no. I have to disagree with that. Sorry.
Okay.
Man, so, you know, just listen to you explain, you know, this situation that's going on. Well, first thing, I guess you're absolutely right. Like, we weren't there, but it kind of reminds me of how sometimes people talk about Miles Davis and they'll say like, well, you know, there's always question of, well, did he do this, or was it Bill Evans, or was it this person, or was it that person? You know, and it's, you know, I know some people out there may see this as her attempt at a grab of some sorts. So, you know, some type of thing to stay relevant, or kind of just be in the mix or things. So, like, you know, we really don't know.
Right.
I mean, you know, like, she was there, like you were right, like she was there. So, you know, and like we all know, like, say, creatives draw inspiration from anything. You know, it could have been something said on TV, could have been the way she walked, could have been an outfit she had on. Like, you know, could have been a flashback he had of them filming love scenes. You know what I'm saying? Could be anything. So,
It is. I guess I was just to jump in real quick to say is like all of these things we're speculating could be true or not. I guess I think she just has to consider when you make a claim like that over somebody that's an icon like that and is not here to say otherwise. It's almost like, man, make sure you have your receipts or the credibility lined up. So because they're going to question it. Now, if you don't care, do you? But I just think we live in a world where, if you say, oh man, like if somebody can, oh man, I used to hang around Snoop and Dre and them back in the day. I kind of co-wrote Nothing But a G thing, and they don't know you for doing that. Yeah, they're gonna look at you like, and stop capping. Like, maybe you did, but not like this. Maybe. You know what I mean? So that's just, it's just, you can understand why people would question it, I guess is the thing. Not to say she's not wrong, but you can understand why somebody would question. And plus, I think she kind of put some of that energy out there anyway when it came to Sheila E. was saying things earlier, and I think Apollonia was kind of questioning, oh, you didn't really do the lemon cake thing. So, I mean, if you already put that kind of energy out there, you obviously should understand it will sort of come back to you.
Yeah, come back.
When you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, like you're right. I mean, so, I think if we had, if like when you hear somebody like Jesse say, well, I did this and this, and then he took it and made it this. Like there was never any blowback, about Jesse towards that. Plus he had a demo.
Well, and because we know Jesse, that's his I mean, he got the body of work that you could be like, hey, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But she's not a musician, so it's kind of like.
Exactly. So
what other hits do you have?
Yeah, and I think to like Big Sexy's point, there's like a misuse of words, and there's a misuse of words and maybe how it's used and then how it's like perceived. Because when you say, well, I helped him write this, instantly people going to go to lyrical and musical content. Like, hold on now, wait a minute. Like you said, wait a minute, you don't play no instruments. So like you ain't hum no bass lines to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't do none of that. And then when you say write, like what did you write? Like, like did you like write the first verse? Did you write, like the chorus or something? But like Big Sexy said, like, say, like you writing these haikus and he sees something that, that's in your little thing that's kind of like inspiring. I mean, what Jill did that in her, like she said for her thing that, she kept a journal, he saw some stuff and, took it and kind of made it into a song. Does that mean that she helped write the song?
Right. And, that's real quick, just to throw in an example of this would be, and we see this in our culture, particularly in hip hop a lot, where it's like you be around your boys, you always kick it all the time. And with that one partner in the group, maybe he was, he saw a bad chick walk by. My nigga, whoop, there it is, my nigga, that's a bad one. And then the other homie went and did a rap song called Whoop, There It Is. He's like, well, I kind of wrote this. Nigga, you should say that in the hood, but that's, come on.
Essentially, this is like back to Jay-Z's song Takeover. Prince should have been like, you made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
There you go.
And that's what it is, though.
And no disrespect to Apollonia, this all could be true, but I think she probably should have chose her words more carefully, because as we see what the blowback is, and definitely when you come to, with the Purple family, they're very protective of Prince. Like you were saying, Mike, you need those receipts, because I can fully believe it, because we don't know the full validity, but some are really taking it to be truth, as far as Susanna telling him about that classmate from elementary school, and then he got the inspiration and went down and came with Starfish and Coffee. So, and I can believe that story as well. So I don't really want to just like go at her, because this could all be very true. But at the end of the day, like, you got to choose your words more carefully, because you might have provided him some words or some lines there, but ultimately, I think we can all believe that, hey, he crafted this song. He crafted the music to go with the song. So, all that credit is to Prince, and how it's looking. Not saying how it is, but how it's looking is that now that he gone, you taking credit for his work.
And, the other thing too is, and this is a thing, as interviewers or content creators, we have to, I think sometimes where the respect and the respect of the culture of what we're talking about or presenting. I also, I have to look at Sunset Sound, whoever does these. They titled that and took that clip for a very particular reason.
Oh, of course.
One, like I said, it's very clickbaity and it's going to get them a lot of attention, but it also is going to bring her a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
And I think that when you take little clips like that, and I've done this too, but I always try to be very cognizant of, it's somebody else talking. And you're pulling out this one thing they said out of an hour long, whatever it is, and you're going to just zero in and spotlight that. You have to be very careful because, again, it's interesting that this thing is titled, when you look at the thumbnail, they put quotations to say, no, this is what she said. Prince and I co-wrote. She may have just been talking. She's not thinking of, I'm going to speak legally and, all the things we sort of brought up. She's just having a conversation and said something, not probably even trying to put weight on that, possibly, right? But it's being pulled out and spotlighted as if she's making a point to say this, where this is being pulled out of context. And it's not the small thing it was in the longer sense. Now it is the actual focal point, which I don't know if that was her point either. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes when they make clips like this, it puts people in a position where, I was just talking when I was saying that. I didn't mean it to be like I'm driving a point home about this. But the way it's presented, it's like she's driving a point home to like, no, I co-wrote, so that's one thing too we have to consider. Like, I don't want to, when people are coming for her, I think we have to realize when people are talking, it's almost unfair to pull one little thing out and then like, I know what she said. I know that line she just said is going to be controversial. Let's run with that. And like I said, I've done that with the Robin Power, the one with the wrinkly knees. I was like, I know this is funny. And I was like, I thought about it. I said, man, there's a lot of clips in here that you could spotlight and it would go one way or the other. But I was like, at least this one, it's more of a poke and fun type of thing. And not really slamming somebody. So I think this is cool enough. It sort of skeets the line. But there's been a lot of interviews where I was like, ooh, I could have pulled this part where this person said that, and I know they would see this. It would go left, but it would get a lot of clicks. But you're like, I don't want to do that. So I throw a little bit of some of the onus on Sunset Sound as well.
Yeah, I mean, man. Plus, as time goes on, man, like these people are human, and like all of us in some way, form, or fashion, would like to be associated with greatness.
Right. Yeah.
And so she is a piece to the larger puzzle, and she was there. And so, who of any of us on to the outside, like looking in, can say like she wasn't there? Like none of us. Now, like, if Jesse and Brown Market and some other people come out and be like, man, she capping, that's different. But who of us, like on the outside, like looking in, can say, well, say, like she wasn't there now. So, now we can, like you said, Mike, like we gotta, like we gotta start recognizing, like, all right, they took a sound bite and they trying to make, trying to get you baited in to either watch the video, get views for like whatever reason. But I wish people would take things in their full like totality and not make it bigger than what it is. I think when I first saw it, I didn't think she was lying, but like my musical history, I was just kind of like, okay, she probably, just said something.
Yeah,
or showed up one day wearing something. He was like, "Oh yeah, cool, glamorous. All right,
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it could certainly be that. Now there are other clips too, which I don't have in front of me, but salute to Apollonia. I want to see the entire thing, see what that's about. So there you go.
One thing, and this whole, I don't want to say claim, because again, that would imply that she's after something, and I don't want to put that on her. But it reminded me of way back when Hammer came out with "You Can't Touch This," and everyone's like, "Really?" And then you look at the actual songwriting credit. Yeah, it says Rick James. Going even further back, when Sugar Hill Gang came out, again, I'm sitting on the bus going to school, and someone's blasting that. I'm like, "Really?" Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers are credited songwriters. So yeah, as long as if you're really to be a contributing factor, you're gonna get that publishing. Now again, I'm not saying
that's not necessarily true with Prince though.
Well, then you got to make a move, but you have to have the receipts to back it up too, though. Now I looked up under the publishing. Prince has 922 songs registered and published. I did not look for Apollonia because I didn't want to hurt feelings. So I left it alone. But that's quite a burden of persuasion to have to overcome there, to say that two of the bigger songs he wrote, I wrote those two. Fuck out of here.
No. All right.
I mean, man, it's just an age-old story that never goes away. It's probably somebody in like North Carolina talking about, man, I'm the one that inspired Michael Jordan to play basketball. Like I picked him that day in 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? Say, come on, be on my team and put the ball in his hand or something. I mean, it's always gonna be a claim or something. But again, I mean, like everybody wants to be associated with like what if she's telling the truth? Like what if what she says is actually true? Like, until Jill and them come out, like say something like, oh yeah, she, like that ain't true. So,
I mean, that's why I'm just like, you know what? I just say, well, as far as I know, if I was talking to her, she said that, I'd be like, okay, salute and keep it pushing. Okay, cool. That's cool. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just like I said, if you came across somebody, oh yeah, I used to know, I knew Tupac and we whoop de whoop, and I told him, man, they all got all eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? And then like, he came over. I'd be like, oh, okay, Playboy, say first show. And kept it put, and, okay, bro.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
I get it. But the last one is there was a post on the Prince Facebook group. Now, I don't know if this post was also done on their, like on Twitter or something, or Instagram, but on the Facebook one, they posted a picture of George Floyd. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to see if there was anything that was written with this. Let me see. No, it was hashtag George Floyd, hashtag Black Lives Matter. And they put that up May 25th. There are 3,200 comments, over 1,000 shares. And
like to clarify, this is the official Prince page, not a group. 2.7 million followers.
Right.
Oh, and this was on Facebook, you said?
This is on their Facebook. Now, like I said, they may have done this on their other platforms as well. I did not know. But on the Facebook one, it got popping. Like the comments are wild. From everything from, I love the post, accountability begins in MPLS. This nonsense on this page is pitiful. I think this person was talking about the comments. All the way from the other side of, Prince wasn't about politics. He never expressed his personal beliefs.
Right.
How can you have this? He would never post this criminal on his page and things of that nature. And I just asked the question on my Facebook. I was like, man, looking at these comments, I wonder if Prince was still with us, and then all of this stuff happens in his hometown, and he was already like, he did Baltimore, and we find out he was giving money to different organizations and stuff. If he would have, I think leaned even more in the direction of where he was going with things, would half of his fan base, or I don't know how much, would they have tried to cancel him or just jump ship, or that just couldn't believe he would be talking about, it just puzzles me. I'm like, where were they at all this time?
If they jumped ship, he wouldn't give a damn. That's first.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't give a shit. And secondly, and I tend to, as you and Anthony both know, I tend to be naive on these type of things. I do believe it was Prince who said at the Grammys, as he rocked that orange leather, he said, like, books and Black lives, albums matter. Like books and Black lives, albums matter. Now, furthermore, Anthony said in one of the posting on Facebook, he said, look, have these people not heard the Rainbow Children?
Right.
And if this is coming from his official page about something that happened in his city, which I would hope we all agree is fucking criminal, I don't see the reason for the blowback. I don't get it. That's just me, but people are stupid sometimes.
Well, man, so this this kind of reminds me of that scene from Spike Lee's famous "Do the Right Thing," and Pino and Mookie are talking.
Yes, at the jukebox. Yes,
right. And Pino was trying to explain to Mookie that Prince, Eddie Murphy, and Magic aren't black, and Mookie's like, man, looking at him like, what? And and so, that was done in 1989, and here we are in 2021, and people have their reasoning. Like, people, seriously, when they look at, Prince, somehow it gets lost on them that this was in his old neighborhood. Like, where he grew up, like where this incident took place. Like Andre said that, like, this is where, like the police station is where they had like a youth center or something. So they grew up there. Prince, Andre, Jam, Lewis, Jelly Bean. So, people, like the same people who saying that he wouldn't have politics and say his song. I mean, the man did a song called "Ronnie Talk to Russia" and "Party Up." Mm-hmm. And
Money
Dreamer.
Doesn't Matter Tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
Dear Mr. Man.
Yeah, like he has all types of songs, but again, like they hear the Raspberry Berets and then the When Doves Cry and all the
Do Me
hits.
Baby, yeah.
Right, like all that type stuff, and so like, I mean, I think it's just my opinion, like, like when you can't accept the person for who they are, well, the artist for who they really are, because that's who he was. Now, whether or not you agree with that, that's on you. But he was a brother with an afro. He was just a light-skinned brother with an afro. You know what I'm saying? They grew up in Minneapolis, which we all know now. Like, if you've ever been to Minneapolis, it ain't that many brothers up there. And so, I mean, he spoke about, like clutching the steering wheel, like when the cops pull up behind you. Like, he just didn't, pull that from a news headline. Like, he wrote about that stuff. And so to try to, to save your, like to make you feel better, you want to not associate him with, or try to disassociate him with his ethnicity. Say, is a slap in the face to him, because I mean, granted, yeah, like, he had bands and dated women of all races and all those type things, but at the end of the day, he he was just a regular Midwest brother.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I mean, you know, I mean, again, it's just, you know, people are trying to, you know, I think it's hard for people to to see like, hey, yeah, my favorite artist would have been this. When they be like, wait a minute, but I don't agree with that. Like, I don't see that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it is that, you know, you got people who, for, you know, whatever reason they think George Floyd was a criminal or say like what have you. Well, you know, your favorite artist or artist that say like you like would have disagreed with you. And like you said, like, would you have jumped ship if he had come out or something? And it's not a question of would he have come out with something, because we know the answer to that. He would have. If it was in Minneapolis, he definitely would have. You know what I'm saying? He probably would have had another Rally for Peace concert or something like that or whatever. So, I mean...
Right, which is a political move unto itself, right? Like,
yeah, and mind you, man, people forget, like, say, you know, and I think I heard it on I think when you and Big Sexy talked to Michael Bland, how, you know, like, people used to try to protest his shows, you know, because like they thought he was too, you know, risque and all these type things. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, well, he wouldn't have been political. Like, man, okay, which is he? Is he too risque or is he not political enough? Now, which one is it?
Right. What was the song with the Abraham Lincoln line in it?
Family Name?
No. No, it was a slow jam. Remember? He said,
Avalanche.
Avalanche. Was that not political?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I mean... No, go ahead.
I'm like, Mike, feel free to edit this out if you want, but I'm just seeing these comments, and then they're talking about how he was a drug head who used fentanyl, and Prince, and it's talking about Prince would have nothing to do with him. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, so you're condemning this man because of his fight with fentanyl, yet you learn nothing from the death of Prince, who OD'd of fentanyl. So it's like, how are you trying to say Floyd's life isn't worth crap because of his drug problem, and saying don't desecrate Prince's legacy, who we know he had that issue. So it's like, where is the humanity and compassion within your own hypocrisy? It's just terrible seeing all this, that people are just not self-aware at all and trying to speak for Prince without really knowing this man, and actually not even paying attention to his catalog, to the albums, the words he speak, and the way he lived his life.
You know, I wonder if I've been seeing with the basketball games, there've been these instances of people in the stands doing foolish stuff, stupid stuff with some of the players, and I'm like, there's a common denominator from my limited view of the people who are doing this and the people that are doing it too, and it makes me think back when you brought up that do the right thing part. You know, oh, you like Prince, Bruce, oh, you like Michael Jordan. It's like, well, you like these, and you know, we like these black men for what they do entertainment wise. Yeah. But you don't really see them as real people. Like, you don't want to, because you don't want to have to think about them when it comes to the reality of our world and where they may stand on these issues. I just want you to stay in your entertain me bubble. Sort of like what that lady said to LeBron that one time, just shut up and dribble. Like, yeah, Prince was just about love for one another and playing great music, and I love this music. He can't be about this stuff. Like, I hate that stuff. So I don't want to associate this black man that I think is different. And you know what I mean? I kind of feel like that's how some people see him. They don't want to see it in his reality. He's a fantasy. That's the black guy that I like. Yeah. You know, I can separate him from the world. Like, you know what I mean?
Go ahead. I mean, bro, that's him. That's all the athletes. That's like, you know, any entertainer of color. Like, when you see responses of people like, you know, well, athletes shouldn't stay in politics, or, you know, the entertainers shouldn't be in politics. What I mean, so I think what that basically is saying is stay in say the confines of which I want to keep you in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like stay here. Because like you said, I don't want to have to think about, well, what happens when you're not entertaining me? Because then it's like,
oh, sorry.
no. Oh, okay. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna make another point. Like, I'm like, these are the same people that, you know, cheer and applaud because that Prince was out there with the word slave on his face, as if that wasn't making a political and historical point about his treatment with the labels and life in America. It's just, I just don't get. I mean, I don't understand why I say I just don't get it when I know exactly
even then,
what you're saying.
They wasn't behind that either, though. If you go back,
I remember even then. I mean, brothers understood. Like once he told us the reason, we was like, okay, yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like mainstream was kind of making jokes.
Yeah. So he's stupid. Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
I don't think they was down with that either.
I mean, man, so it kind of just goes to show you, man. Like, say, I hope that these type moments, like these. I know these moments in sports and all that. Say, I hope, when these athletes and entertainers use their platform and bring more awareness to this, because it's kind of like this like political activist Sean King said about the athletes thing. He said, what is happening here is that, you have 3 separate incidents in 3 separate cities of 3 Black athletes being attacked by white men. And he said that when they come to these sporting events, they have a license to yell, scream, criticize, and do whatever to these Black athletes and almost not face any consequences. I mean, so you get banned from like an arena or something like that. Okay, cool. But this dude spat on Trae Young.
That's crazy.
Bro, if you was anywhere else, it'd be knuckle up time. Man, somebody would have got their teeth knocked out. But, at a game, and then, I think another friend of mine brought this up. He said, what if the situation where, the crowd ratio was evened out? Would they feel that they had the liberty to treat these athletes that way? Because let's face it, a lot of our people don't go to the games like that. So, would they feel empowered to do these things if, say, the crowd was even number of people of color to non-people of color?
Yeah, it's go ahead.
Or what would happen if the roles were reversed? What if Tom Brady came through Atlanta?
That's what I'm about to say.
You know what I'm saying? Then Jokers was like, oh, okay, well, here, take this, Tom. So, would the consequences and outrage be the same?
You already know the answer to that. Try spitting on him, brother. Try spitting on him and see what happened.
All
over the news, you'd be done.
Yeah, and
the funny thing, just to add, and we don't want to go too far in this, but it's just interesting. It's 2021, and you got there's a Black player in a high level sports situation being spit on by a white fan. That's 2021. You'd have thought maybe back in the day, some wild disrespectful type shit but no, it's in current times. They spitting on brothers. So that just, if you just really stop and think about that, that's wild, man. Wild.
After a year of quarantine of not being able to go to games, you know what I'm saying? And then you come back and then like your first game back or second game where you can have a crowd there, this is what somebody does after all that's happened the past year.
That's wild. Didn't somebody run up on a lady do something to LeBron or something a little while ago?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Man, I will say this, and I'm sure this probably isn't a popular opinion, but say, I think a lot of this stuff would stop if somebody got their jaw cracked. Say, you do something like that, okay, but I understand the athlete standpoint, because if they crack somebody in the jaw, then first thing that the person gonna say is, well, I'm gonna sue. And all that type of stuff, and then they got league fines and like all those type things, man. So
yeah, well, just to bring it back to Prince, and the George Floyd post, like I said, it's interesting to see the responses from the fan base over something like that, and it just goes to show me, show me that as far as we think we've come, or we like to think that Prince fans are all about, togetherness on all these issues. It really not, and that's just the reality of the world we live in. And sometimes we get opportunities where you get to see that.
Hey man, and that's that's the I guess that's one of the pluses I can say about attending his live shows. It's like when you go, you have a like multiracial crowd, and it's cool, and you see people of all nationalities. It's quite diverse, and that's a beautiful thing. But because everyone's on that, like everyone's on the same vibe. You're jamming, you're enjoying the show, things of that nature. But like you said, like the reality is when you leave, that vibe is not carried out. So that love for one another thing, like we're starting to see is not shared by all.
Yeah, it's to a certain point. Like if he starts to play a different song, then that vibe could change. Like, right, he didn't normally go all in like that, but obviously he had songs in his catalog that, yeah, I love for one another, but okay, let me play Dreamer, or let me do this song. Okay, the vibe is going to change, because now he's not just talking about that sort of, easier to understand viewpoint. No, I want to dig deeper viewpoint. And I think that I to me personally is a reason why I think a project like Welcome to America didn't come out at the time that he had it, because of the subject matter. And like you already know, like, yeah, they're gonna be tripping on some of this. So, which is why I commend the Rainbow Children, because like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what it is. Y'all just can trip about it. And people did. But it was a great, and he knew enough to say, they're gonna trip about it so much, let me have a little meeting of the minds with these people, because they ain't gonna be able to. This is a Prince that I don't think they was necessarily ready for. So let's invite them to Paisley Park and let's have meetings about it, right? That's what Prince had to do, because he knew the project was gonna be different. The themes of the record was gonna be, literally just had to have the fans come to his house and sit down and have conversations about it.
Well, man,
I wish they would release that, because I hear that they was getting into some of the conversations, they was getting into it. I would love to see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's like when he started doing the when Will We Be Paid song.
Right. Yeah, I would love if they put that out now in all this reparations talk. I would love to see the comments now. Why does it don't need to be paid? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I mean, but again, the fans know the song is there. Is what you choose to just listen to, or what you choose to kind of. I mean, again, like like either you accept the totality of the artist, or you only want to accept one view.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like if you only want to accept the Purple Rain Prince, or like the Musicology Prince, or the Diamonds and Pearls thing, say then okay, cool. But there's more to it than that, and so that kind of depends on just the person. But like whether you accept it or not, it's still there, so it speaks for itself.
Right.
So
real quick, let me throw this on you guys real quick, and then we get out of here. There was a post I did on Instagram. I showed a picture of Dwayne Tudor's upcoming book. Mm-hmm. And somebody said something about, man, what if they made a movie about Prince at this time or something, like but I just don't see who they could get to play Prince. Hey, Ricky, we can hear that movement you got going on there.
Oh, sorry.
And so it was like, yeah, who could they get to play Prince? I just don't see anybody. And I kind of feel like now, I can't say that there's somebody who can play Prince. I'm sure casting directors who see hundreds of people know way more than what we do, and they probably could see, this person probably could play this. It's unknown or whatever. So I was saying, probably a cast. This is why we need casting directors. They see thousands of people. And then somebody recommended, and I'm not saying no names, and I'm not coming at nobody, but somebody suggested they get old boy who played Freddie Mercury. What's his name?
I know you're talking about.
Wait, what?
They said he could, and they were saying like, and I said something. I said, well, Prince was a black man, and I think if you get somebody other than that, it's not going to go well. And then somebody made a point to say, well, he's Egyptian or something, like he's from Egypt or Africa, which is in Africa. So then and I'm like, I said, well, listen, you want to play them games? You can play those games. I'm telling you right now, if and when they do a Prince movie and they get somebody who is not
African
American,
it's
all hell's gonna break loose on social media. Now, if you want that smoke, go for it. But don't be mad when the hailstorm of social media
comes down
on you, because it will be heavy. Now you're gonna have all the arguments. Well, I'm just telling you right now, you put anybody other than a black person in that role, and you try to play that type of, not to say he can't do it, but man, it's gonna be. I got my popcorn ready. I'm gonna be on my Michael Jackson because they going in on that movie. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are.
Man, to quote my one of my podcast colleagues, like C. Lee McGinnis. Shout out to C. Lee McGinnis, man. He says all the time that like each of us are Prince historians, and it is imperative that we continue to share our voice to make sure that the legacy doesn't get like diluted and doesn't get misinterpreted. And so I agree with you. The fact that somebody said that, they named somebody that's not like African American tells you, hey, Pino, okay, Pino 2021, type deal. I would say, to answer your question, if they were to do a Prince movie, the safest bet would probably be to just do it as a documentary. So, which they're doing now, I think. Just do like a Michael Jordan, Last Dance. 10 episode or 20 episode documentary, and do like they do with the Once Upon a Time in Minneapolis clips. Like they've given them a blueprint. So, that's my opinion about that. Like, you just want to be safe about it. But like you said, if not, and if you want to go down that road of trying to cast somebody who's not African American in this role, like you go get lambasted from everybody from Andre, on up to the last few band members in NPG and Third Eye Girl. Like, it's just not gonna work. It's gonna get vilified from day one.
I'm gonna look at this from a executive producer standpoint, because that's where the money is. Mm-hmm. And as an EP, my main concern is my wallet. Is this going to make me money? No. I'm not bankrolling this, because no one's going to come see it. It's going to dilute me as an EP and fuck up my position in the community. No. I can't put money behind this. I can't think of anybody in that position that's going to say, you know what, I got 10 million, nothing to do. Let me go ahead and put that in this. No. And going a step further, now that we're talking about it, the estate may be like, you know what? You do what you need to do, but as far as using any of the music, good luck with that.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. You get the estate in a tough enough financial bind, shit, they might be like, well, shit, they want to give us $50 million and we need that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well,
if
there's any film that they're going to give $50 million, that's another ball game. And then, the state would do what they do and say, look, we'll take that $50 million and have a disclaimer. We ain't endorsing shit.
No company would let that happen. That's the thing.
So we have no comment on this motherfucker.
No big company will allow them to do that.
Then
you're not going to shit on their product.
Wait, how's that shitting on it? But you're saying, look, we're not in it. They just got the music. We're not in the creative process.
If they got the music, then they're in it. That's just nothing. That's what it's all about is the music. So them giving up their most precious asset is they're
exactly. You said it right on the head. This is their biggest asset, and this will hurt their asset, and they're not doing it. No way, no how.
I won't put nothing past this. And I'm not saying bad about it, but I mean, you just look at the deals they're doing. They
ain't doing it.
They do a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, to the point of putting somebody other than, and I said African American, I just say a person of color, a black person.
They ain't doing it.
Yeah,
it would be wild. I actually. Go ahead.
No, like that. Like I remember, maybe about 2-3 years ago. People were throwing around Bruno's name, like Bruno Mars's name, to like play Prince in a movie. And then I get it. It was because of the hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? And then some other stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, only with our artists, like, do they do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't, I mean, so, clearly they didn't learn the lesson from that Michael Jackson movie that,
oh, Lord.
that Flex did. Where people were just like, no. I mean, even now, like, Joker's still like, it's like 20 years later, people still like, no, just so.
Well, what about the Michael Jackson one? It was the white guy who was playing Michael. Ralph something? Came out overseas. Did that come out? I think it was overseas only or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's wild.
See, it's probably being stayed. It's probably gonna stay there too.
That'd be like, if somebody said, well, they want to do a Nirvana movie. And
with J.J. Walker playing Kurt Cobain?
Well, no, they would
make no sense.
They would get what's that one light-skinned brother?
John Boyega? No,
I'm trying to think of the brother. He was in damn it, I can't think of none of his movies. Michael Ealy.
I was about to name him.
And they're gonna have Michael Ealy gonna play Kurt Cobain. They would raise holy hell. It wouldn't ever even get made.
Right.
But that's the same type of thing. Like, well, he's light skinned. He could pass as a white person, maybe. Nah, they're not playing that game. So why should they play that? And he's an American. Stop it.
It ain't happening.
I actually say I was thinking the other day, if you did the Prince movie and you had to play, you're towing the line here, but I was like, to only really get the look of Prince, at this point, they would have to really lean on technology. And they would probably have to get an actor to physically play the role. But in terms of his face, I would almost say you may just have to 3D CGI the face it's the super high quality of technology to do, but literally just have Prince's face on that person. And it looks so seamless. It'd be the only way you really probably would get the full blessing of people visually looking at it, be convinced. I'm sure there would be a whole cadre of fans who would be, Prince was not with that voodooism technology on his face and all that. But I'm just thinking, I don't know who else. It's going to be a hard makeup and hair job to get all of those looks in the movie. It can be done, but it's going to be hard.
That's why I say like a documentary would be the best thing to go.
They've done that technology though on the documentary on 30 for 30 called Al Davis versus NFL. They did just what you said, Mike.
Okay.
They did it with Al Davis and they did it with Pete Rozelle. They had someone actually play the role, and then later on in post, they went ahead and did the digital whammy to make it look like those two guys. So that could be done.
Yeah, I mean, we see that in a lot of the Marvel movies, and you see that in those types of movies where they'll get somebody else, especially the Star Wars movies. They've been pushing that real heavy. You had Luke Skywalker, the younger version. It had somebody acting, or it was Carrie Fisher or Tarkin. So I was like, it can be done. You'd have to be at the highest level of special effects to do it. But that's the only way I could see a Prince thing where you would be like, okay, damn, that's him. When they do the close up and all the little looks and stuff, it almost have to be CGI to be like a total pass. Otherwise, it's just going to be somebody else that looks like him a little. But I don't know. Either way, I almost was like, man, again, this would, I don't condone this, but I almost could see them hiring a woman physically to play him, and then they pad them a certain way and they CGI over that. I know I'm talking blasphemy, but it's just certain things like, man, whoever acts, there's so many things they have to master that walk, and normal men just don't wear that standing on those high heels. So they're gonna have to, you know how we get in those, like, you know, they go, oh, you're gonna be in a superhero movie, you got to take 6 months to yoke up and get all, you know, get like Ben Affleck. Well, these gonna have to be a 6 months, 9 month training for that actor to play Prince, like to walk like that and move and then wear those heels and the pull up. Because I just don't get it. And I don't see.
Well, to your point, you were talking about, I don't know how playful you are as far as getting a woman to play his role. I just hope, you know, if they do that and they get someone who comes off a little effeminate or is even homosexual, that people don't lose their mind. Because it's like, have you seen Prince? He definitely was a man's man, but come on, you saw the stuff that he was doing and stuff that he was wearing. So, you know, hopefully I don't get in your feelings too much about it.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't. I said I was joking because I'm not rocking with that.
Hey man, so you know, like if there's anything,
no,
I think we probably
co-signing a female playing it. I'm just saying that, you know, because I understand how some say, oh man, look, they got someone who's gay from the LGBTQ community playing Prince, and I'm like, well, maybe that person might be more comfortable with, you know, some of the attire and some of the mannerisms. So, not saying that a straight person can pull that off, but y'all shouldn't lose your mind over it.
Yeah,
that's important.
Well, man, so you know, hey man, look, I mean, something that I guess we all know by now is that Prince fans are never satisfied.
Absolutely, that's true. I agree with that.
and so that being said, you know, however they do it, I know whenever they do it, whether it's a documentary, whether it's a 3-hour Malcolm X type movie, you know, they go find some kind of fault with something. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're not gonna please like everybody. I guess, you know, my biggest concern and, you know, would be like, let it be accurate. So, you know, because like inaccuracies with bad acting and bad casting makes for a disaster. But say, you know, with some accuracy and if things are accurate and halfway decent casting, people can kind of stomach that.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. So, you know, hopefully if they decide to go down that route, so, you know, they will take the necessary steps to try to make it something that's, you know, gonna be on level with like Ray.
Well, okay. I'm saying right now, I don't know who's out there right now that can do the performance of Prince. I haven't seen that performance yet. That person that can pull it off just yet.
Right. And like I said,
I would say maybe a young, like 98 to 2004 Jamie Foxx, but I think he's aged out.
Yeah, you have a ton of makeup and CGI. Get that one popping. It'd be super high level lace front wear constructions going on. The make, like I say, it would be just like putting on the costume to play some character. They'd have to be under that. It took him, 5 hours to put the hair piece on.
Hey, for an Oscar, lots of people would do it.
Yeah.
Hey man, hey, look, it might be an unknown sitting out there right now, and
that's what I'm saying.
Never know.
That's what I say. It's a casting director that's the person that is going to be able to say, "Hey, I got a file of people that could play Prince." Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So. Hey, have you heard of the cat from? I just wanted your opinion. I'm not saying he should be the one casted, but I just wanted your opinion. The guy that played the main character in The Get Down. I can't think of his name. Justice.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I could see him play a younger Prince. I could see him playing, possibly.
Man, I don't know if you guys watched this show, but I think I saw somebody mentioned the brother from the show Snowfall. He played Leon with the afro.
Yep.
I saw somebody mention him.
I was saying that myself too. He could be a younger Prince. Yeah, he kind of looks like it to me.
Yeah, so they said that he got the afro because it's natural. So like he could do like Mike said, the younger years, and then probably, the later years, something. So yeah, I know his name came up.
I could see it with the right makeup and the cutting. He's got the thicker kind of eyebrows with the mustache. And if they were trimmed in a Princey way as Prince evolved, I could see it. He kind of
I don't know if he has the acting chops for it though.
Well,
I'd have to see a little bit more.
Hey man, he's kind of got the height too, because he's not that tall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could, with the makeup, he could be it. I could see it. I could see
man. Like Mike said, like
they have from Snowfall. Okay. I mean, that'd be a hell of a IMDb. I was the gangster with the fro and cherry curl from the 80s. And
hey, look at Jamie Foxx. He went from booty call to Ray. And that's an actor. An actor can do it.
Hey, man, yeah. I mean, so, man, I mean, I think if they went to that brother that plays Leon, man, and he was down for it, I think he could pull it off. Like, I think if he knew the gravity of it and things of that nature, and he knew the magnitude of what it could do.
It's funny you say that, because I said that to myself. There's the scene with him and Franklin. It was like, you don't like the way another nigga talk. I was saying I don't know if I said this out loud, or I was maybe gonna try and do a video skit. It was too much work. I was thinking Franklin was actually what's my guy? We just had him on the show. Pepe. And he's talking to the young Prince like, what do you mean you don't want to go do this job? Nigga, I got you here. You don't like, because another nigga talk. I built this up brick by brick. And you get out there and do this shit. And I can see that. That was like in the 70s or something. In the late 70s, early 80s. And that was Pepe talking to Prince, getting ready.
Hey man, it could work. A casting director's Hollywood. Y'all might have. Hey, look. Hey, Leon from Snowfall.
Wait, so would you get Franklin to be Pepe though?
Hey, yeah, or he could, yeah, why not?
He make a guest appearance.
He's just being in for a little bit, but.
Ah, man.
Hilarious. Hey, oh yeah, man. Hey, that was a dope interview, by the way, too, Mike. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really just hoping that they get Spike involved in this, because I just feel like his passion, his friendship will do the movie right. I didn't say he should direct it or write the script, but maybe EP.
Yo, what the guy's doing all the tapping. That's really loud on the mic.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, all the movements and stuff. We can hear all of it.
I got nervous energy. My bad.
That's all good. Well, with that said, let's wrap things up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope. Well, go ahead, real quick.
Oh no, I just wanted to say that I co-sign Ann's statement. So I hope that if they do that, I hope they do get Spike involved.
Okay. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this. We geeked out on some Prince. We want to thank Mr. Ricky Wyatt for joining us. Sir, where can they find you online?
Man, I am on Instagram, Footprints Cubase 4. That's the number 4. And on Twitter, Footprints Groove, GRUV. That's pretty much it. I'm on Facebook as Ricky Wyatt.
All right, there you go. Big Sexy and Sack, where can they find you, sir?
The same locations generally. Facebook, Mark Wiggins. Instagram, Mark Wiggins 2. And Twitter, WSE Mark, and be on the lookout for This Is My World, where I break down my thoughts of the recent inductees and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
All right. And Pooh, where can they find you, sir?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ampu. As we do this, I don't know how soon you're going to get this up. You can find me on May 30th in the Clubhouse room with Prince 365 as we break down. Oh my God, I can't remember what the. Oh yeah, it's Diamonds and Pearls versus the Love Symbol album. So I'll be in there giving my controversial takes and having fun with the Prince fandom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can check us out here at podcastjuice.net. Of course, we're on all the social media platforms. Look us up on there. And if you have not already, please join our Patreon page. I'll have a link in the show notes. My name is Michael Dean. Work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.